let's talk about the training tip of the week, which is power teams. And in fact, I'm glad that Greg just mentioned some of the quiet title work that he has done in Michigan, because it's a good example of some of the power team members that you will start to add as you invest. And the people that Greg worked with for quiet title or for tax title certification certainly would include or count as power team members. Really, a power team member is going to be anybody that can help you accomplish your investing goals and that specializes in different types of work. You can only specialize in so many things, and you only have so much time. And I think the easiest way, it's the same for the same reason that people specialize in different aspects of building. It's the same, I guess, the same reason people specialize in different aspects of building is the same reason why you want to have a power team of people around you. And it's so that people that specialize tend to be better at what they do. And you want specialists, that can do the work and help you accomplish things. You wouldn't try to do it all on your own, because that wouldn't turn out as well in most cases, and it wouldn't happen as quickly. You don't have really the time for that anyway. Your time really is your most valuable resource, and power team members are how you're going to get the job done and save time.
Yeah, to kind of give you guys a little history, my dad is a general contractor and home builder. And, that's kind of all he had was his power team to help him do all of the different jobs. So he had a plumber and a electrician and a roofer and a framer and a heating and air conditioning company. And to a small degree, that's kind of what we're doing when we're setting up power teams. Now, as far as a power team, these people should be located in the area that you're investing. So, your title company in New York is probably not going to work very well. They may be able to pull up a title report, but it's not going to help you do any title work if you're buying a property in California. And in addition to that, as the need arises, that's when we'll start adding a power team member. So if we don't need that member in the power team within that particular area, we're not going to need to go ahead and set them up until we actually have a need to be able to use them in their services.
Yeah, it's usually as a need arises, you're going to need to find somebody that can help you do things. So, for example, one of the first power team members that we often end up looking for is somebody that we can hire to take photos for us of properties, of homes. So if we can get somebody to go and take pictures of properties for us before the auction, we need to know what the current condition of properties are, and we need somebody that's local there, to the area that can take the images for us. And so that's where we'll usually look for people. Classifieds have been a good way to find people out there that are willing to do the work for, especially when with the way we can write listings here that include how much we'll pay them and how much work is going to be involved. You can find people that will help with this type of work. And if you happen to win a property, they're good individuals that you could call to get other things done. You basically have boots on the ground is what it's really about. And there are certain times where you have to have somebody there. Like, for instance, if you acquire a house, you need help selling it, especially if you live out of state. You need somebody that can show up there, that can show the house for you. And in that case, somebody like a realtor could be a very helpful member of a power team, to help you get a property sold. And obviously, if you work with a realtor in an area, you want to continue to work with that same individual, for additional sales. Or if they can make money with you, they'll be happy to do additional work with you.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, we're going to go through all of them. One of the top power team members is really going to be the county officials. Many times we're going to need to contact them, city officials. These can include the tax collector or the treasurer. Sometimes we're able to do deals without ever contacting them. But if we need additional information, especially if we're looking into liens, need to find out what the total amount owed is, not able to find anything through the county records, or missing something, or have additional questions, these different departments are going to really be the departments that we go to for a huge amount of our research. Now, not only talking with them in person, but also their county websites, their county tools, the ability to do record searches, the ability to, do GIS map searches. All of these are going to be included with the county records. And so that's the reason why it's probably our number one member of our power team. Even if we may never talk to them, that's where we're going to be going to get their information, and when needed, they're going to be available to help answer any questions for us.
Yeah, well, and usually if it gets to the point where we need to call in, it's usually a pretty good question. It's usually a pretty good question that's pretty hard to get answered any other way than from them telling us, because they provide most of their information online. But yeah, like I mentioned, an on-site photographer is probably one of the first people that we end up hiring, and it's because that's when we need the help is getting images of the property taken, but you can reuse these people for different tasks or for taking different images of property. We've had people that have been interested in taking the pictures here in different counties there within the area. Once they do it in one place, they're interested in doing it in other places. But yeah, we've had pretty good luck with classifieds, but you can also hire people. I mean, a handyman works great because they already have expertise. They already work in the area. They have an hourly rate that they pay. I mean, everything about using a handyman can work out great for getting some images taken of a property. You can send them back. But obviously, other people, it's going to make sense. You're going to need additional help there. Realtor can make a big difference for you, but you are also going to need somebody like landscaping crews, or cleanup crews that can help you haul stuff off. It's all depending on what is on the property, what its needs are. It's generally going to determine which kinds of people you're looking for in the beginning. But if you're an out-of-state investor, you're going to need help.
Yeah, yeah. So if we're looking at structured property, we may not need an on-site photographer, but if we are looking at structured property, we need to do an on-site evaluation. So like Shade mentioned, a handyman, they're also going to have the ability to help secure the property, clean up the property. That's part of the reason why we like using a handyman. There's plenty of freelance photographers out there that are willing to do that. And then like Shade said, we can always create a classified ad, go ahead and put it on Craigslist or any of the services out there, and really hire anyone. All they need to do is have a car, they need to have a vehicle and a phone or a camera, and they can go ahead and get those photos for us. So there's a lot of different options, but if we're going to be investing in structured property, next to the county officials, this is going to be an important service that we're going to use.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. In fact, you know, we end up using county records and power team members in just about every single auction that we participate in. And oh, the other thing I was going to say too is uh, for certain types of jobs, like for instance, hauling off garbage or yard cleanup. One of the things that we found is if you go to look in classified listings there in a certain area, you'll probably see there a number of different listings for people that offer to do that kind of work. And so sometimes that will be a way that we can find individuals is by looking into the classified listings and seeing people that are advertising for doing certain things. So for example, it's not uncommon with the tax sale property for it to need garbage hauled off. Lots of garbage sometimes haul off, or to have a need for the yard to be cut and to maybe haul different junk or trash out of the yard. Garbage pickup and haul away and landscaping work. There's a lot of listings for those types of things, and using classifieds and just finding the listings they have there in the area can be a good way of finding people as well, if you don't want to wait for somebody to reach out to you.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So, we're going to go ahead and be working with the county records. We're going to be working with an on-site photographer. Of course, we want to be a member of your power team as well. The fact that you're on the webinar or on the podcast shows that we're helping with you. And that's one thing that the website can do. We have all of the auction list. We have things available to help you. You can go to the forum. And then, of course, we have advanced training programs as well for those that need one-on-one help. But there's other members of the power team. In fact, Shade kind of mentioned some of them. A realtor, we're going to talk about a title company, appraiser, an attorney. We don't have the time to go into the detail that we do when we're teaching the webinar, but we want to go through all of these additional ones. And like Shade mentioned at the end, we're going to talk about, hiring people to clean up the yard and take care of that when the need arises.
Yeah, one of the questions is, how much should we pay the handyman for certain common jobs? And actually, that's one of the advantages, I guess, of a handyman is a lot of that stuff is already structured. So handyman already has probably an hourly wage that they charge to get certain things done, and so we can kind of get an idea based on that, what the cost will be for certain things like changing out the locks or boarding up an opening or something like that. Yeah, we can get an idea here from what their hourly rates are and what they charge. Although we do always want to know what cost is going to be here on any of these things if we send out a handyman to take images of the property, then we're going to hopefully have a lot of homes for them to look at, so we're not paying a lot of money for him to go and look at one property or two properties, because that generally doesn't work very well. You can have one or two properties like that redeem, and then you're suddenly kind of out all your money. So if we are going to send somebody like a handyman out, we'll usually have at least 10 properties for them to go by, so that we have something to work with at the end of that, some kind of a result here, because the handyman probably is going to be a little bit more expensive than somebody else to take photos. And so part of what you're kind of paying for there is to start to establish a relationship with somebody that you can go back and use versus getting just the cheapest option you can find.
Yeah, generally it's going to range between $40 to $75 an hour, and that's going to have a lot to do with the area, the location, anything like that is going to be included in what they're going to charge. But the advantage of the handyman, of course, is the ability that if we are able to win a property, that we have somebody there on the ground that can help us secure it and take care of anything we need, especially within their realm of being a handyman. So there's several different other things that we're going to talk about, starting with the realtor. Now, the realtor can not only help us sell a property, but they may be able to help do, an on-site evaluation for us. Now, most realtors aren't going to want to go spend a few hours driving past all the properties for free on the hope that you win a property. But there is realtors out there, especially today, that are willing to go out there and do it for a flat fee, or do what's called a BPO. That's called a broker price opinion. And essentially that's kind of like a mini appraisal or comparative market analysis on what the property is valued, can give you some ideas on the condition as well, the market within the area. And so in addition to having a real estate agent that's willing to go ahead and sell the property for you, in working with them beforehand, if we're willing to pay them a flat fee, and even if it costs us a little bit more, we may be able to get a better idea of what the actual market value is from an expert within that area.
Yeah, that's really one of the big advantages we have with that realtor, is that they know the area. They've been doing real estate deals here. So if if there's any little things that that you need to know, they're generally going to be pretty good about helping us through any of those obstacles, helping us get the process done here, so we don't make any mistakes. And so yeah, they can offer us a lot. Plus, they usually already have a pool of prospective buyers. And if they can make decent money on your property, or even some kind of a bonus, they have lots of motive, to send buyers your way and to help you get a property sold quickly. That's really what they're able to offer, probably more than anything, is a focused effort on selling your property and selling it quickly. So ultimately, they can be very helpful for getting a property sold, and worth paying whatever whatever you've agreed to pay is generally going to be worth it. They can get the property sold for the right price. At the right
Yeah.
price, it doesn't really matter what you're paying them.
Well, and really kind of thinking about it, I probably should have put the realtor in that first group of the power team members, because one thing about the realtor is if you can get a realtor, they can help you with all of these other power team members. The
Yeah.
realtor knows everyone. They know the title company. They know, a inspector. They know an appraiser. They know an attorney. They know all of those people that can help us build that power team within the area. And so that's the reason why a realtor can be real helpful for you when you're buying tax sale property. Another one's going to be the title company. The title company, obviously, not only to get title insurance, insurance if needed, but they'll also be involved if we're selling the property. If we go through quiet title, we're going to need a title company. And they may also be in conjunction with the escrow company that's actually going to help fund the deal for you once you went ahead and sold the property. Unless we're selling it as a cash deal as is, we're going to need a title company in that process to be able to help us go through the selling of the property.
Yeah, well, we want a marketable title. Ultimately, if the property has enough value, we don't want to wholesale it, and we're going to want to get marketable title. So you could also use somebody like a tax title certification company, like Tax Title Services, in place of the title company as well. Or essentially, they could perform some of the same things for you. If ultimately your goal is to have marketable title and title insurance, you could go either direction with those companies. Tax Title Services could also help you. Now, a property appraiser is somebody that you may end up needing to add to your team member. It's not like it's an automatic though. The cases where you are going to need a property appraiser are probably going to be more related to pre-foreclosures, or anything. If you're planning to sell the property for full market value, then an appraiser is going to make sense. If you're trying to unload a property quickly, it's probably not going to matter.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Well, and you may be involved with an appraiser not on your end, but from the buyer's end, or sometimes investors will go ahead and have an appraisal done as they're trying to sell the property. So essentially they can say, well, it just appraised for 460, and kind of help justify why the value is what it is. A real estate attorney can be incredibly helpful. Not only are we going to need a real estate attorney to go through quiet title if we're going to go through that process, but they can also help us if we have a buyer. Maybe we're doing an as-is deal, but it's a more expensive deal, and it's somebody they're local. We may be able to have an attorney that can go ahead and help you through the process, make sure the contracts are signed. Maybe the buyer can go with it into the attorney's office to be able to sign those contracts, help answer any questions for you. And so in addition to quiet title, we may need a real estate attorney for other forms of selling our property within that area.
Yeah. Also, it's just worth mentioning here. I know there's a question about how we watch things, or how do we know if we're being charged fairly? If we're living out of state and somebody's charging us for work, we always get quotes on the work that's going to be performed, so that we know roughly about what the cost will be here before. Just so if there is something weird going on here, they'll let us know about it here ahead of time. And if there's another reason for the cost to be higher, they'll need to call us and talk to us about it, or at least tell us about it, so that we don't get surprised with some kind of a big bill. Or if there's an issue, they could just simply let us know about it. Yeah, a realtor, a real, I'm sorry, a real estate attorney can help you with a lot of things related to getting deals done, paperwork. It would always be great to have a real estate attorney on retainer. But if you're going to if you're looking to buy properties in the area, then quiet title action is something you're going to want to perform on them. And so very helpful here if you can get that going. And there are a
Yeah.
few other, oh, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, just saying, these are some of the ones that we've kind of mentioned before, but we may need contractors. If we're doing anything like that, maybe it's a minimal job, maybe we're going to need more than that, but we may need to find a painter and a electrician. And one thing that we'll try to utilize is we'll try to find out, especially if we find a good, let's say, electrician, we're going to find out who they know that do good at other aspects. So if we need a painter, we're going to ask the people, and that's what we're always trying to do as well. Once we find a power team member that we trust, we're going to talk with them about other people that they know within the fields that we need help in. That's always going to be a good resource, because if they working with us fair, if they seem like they're running a good business, then they're probably going to refer us to somebody that's running a good business as well.
Yeah. And by the way, a question about whether we have specific team members that we've worked with, as in tax sale support, team members that we've worked with here before, that we could turn students to. And we do in certain states, not in every state, but it's kind of based on where we've been most active, where we've been involved. And so, yeah, we do have contacts in states like Arkansas and New York. We probably have some contacts there in Texas and in Florida, but not necessarily everywhere. The other challenge with that is that not only do they need to be in state, but they need to be very close to where the property is at. So it's got to be the same city essentially, or at least within the same county. And so a lot of times, we are looking to get people somewhat new, just because they need to be close to where the property is located in order to be effective.